Hello and welcome, guys, chess rovers, my friends. We are having the sixth match of the Boris Spassky and Bobby Fischer game now. In this game, Bobby is having white pieces and Boris Spassky having black pieces. And the game was quite very interesting and nice, so I recommend and suggest you to watch to the end. Okay? So why not? Let's go through the game and analyze it quickly. So we are having c4, maybe English. Let's see what happens in the game. e6. This e6 is telling Bobby that maybe I just don't want you to play English. Okay, so maybe Queen Gambit, and actually this happened in the game. Queen Gambit declined. We have knight f3, d5, d4, knight f6, knight to c3, bishop to e7. What are they doing? Is just simply develop their pieces. One of the main principles in chess is develop the piece, control the center, castle, and continue. So we have bishop g5. It was somehow better to go bishop f4 in this position. After bishop to f4, for example, castles bishop and castles e3. Then we have b6, bishop to d3, and the game could continue like that. Okay, but bishop g5 has no major problem. Okay, so bishop g5 is also playable, no major problem with that. We have castles e3, h6, bishop to h4, b6, takes with the knight, bishop takes e7, queen takes on e7, then we take exchange the knight, so pawn recaptures, and we have rook c1 controlling the founder. So we have bishop to e6, yes, queen to a4, and here we see c5. Why c5 is good is the point of c5 actually here, as you just notice that c5, for example, after rook to c1, c5 is not playable at this moment because after you take, then I just take queen d5, hitting the rook there. For example, after bishop to b7, I take the other pawn, and white is completely two hersey pawns up, completely winning this game. So that's why not c5 was played. We will go bishop to e6 to first defend this pawn, and then ready to place the move c5. So that's the reason bishop to e6. We see queen to a5, now again c5, and here queen to a3 was just played. So Fischer is just going to pin the pawn this way to the queen. We have rook c8 defending the pawn for one more time. We have bishop b5, but bishop b5 is a kind of a strange and bizarre move in my mind, in my idea. He played bishop to b5, but bishop to e2 is the best move. So I will just give you a moment, and so you guys just think what do you play in this position. So pause the video and just think. I hope that you have also played. My idea is king to f8. Now the threat is c4, completely getting passive to this bishop here and inactivating this bishop. So c4 is a threat, so white has to deal with that. We have d captures on c5, b captures on c5 back and castles. Now if you play c4, I have take, take, and I play b3. I try to break the pawn structure here as quickly as I can. So after this, the game continues and this is just a draw position. So let's go back. But bishop to b5 was just played at this moment. We have bishop to b5, a6 by Fischer. He could have tried queen to b7, but queen to b7 is kind of hard to see. So let's see what happens after queen to b7. The idea is again the threat of black, the threat of Boris could be actually c4 again. So c4 with this and just pushing to gain space on the queen side. So that's the reason why queen to b7 is unpinning at the same time is just threatening this. But Bobby went for the immediate, sorry, Boris Spassky, not Bobby, and went for the a6 quickly. We have d captures on c5, b captures on c5, we have castles, and now notice that this pawn is pinned, so you cannot take the bishop this way, okay? Because if you take, you're just losing your rook. So after here, you're just losing your rook and the game. So after castles, we have rook to a7. Now taking on b5 is threat because this rook is defended by this queen. So the queen on e7 is just defending the rook on a7. We have bishop to e2, knight to d7, knight to d4, very interesting move, utilizing of this pin over here. If you take now, your queen is gone. Example, after this just happens and everything is just collapsing for black. So queen to f8 was just played, knight is by Bobby. We have takes, and now in this position Bobby correctly plays the move e4 to weaken this diagonal. Okay, so after someone pushing, but actually Boris Spassky did was blunder, letting the letting Bobby to let Bobby just execute his plan. So after d4, we have f4. Very good move, excellent move. Please don't forget to like and comment on this video, and please make sure that you have also subbed to the channel. That would be very encouraging for me to just upload more interesting videos on this channel. So let's continue. We have queen to e7, e5. Bobby could have tried this move, queen to this bizarre and this not bizarre, it's very strange move, queen to h3. So putting pressure on this pawn, bishop to c4 is coming, f4, f5 is in some cases is also coming. So if you play rook to f8 to stop, then we have bishop to c4, and you have to play rook to e8 to again defend this pawn. It is somewhat playable to just go this, but also this pawn white has a straight edge and can also win the game like this. So after rook to e8, f5 is also possible at this moment, but the best move the computer suggests is queen to b3. So the threat of queen to b3 is maybe e5 coming, so he has just defended. So he wants the computer idea is to just disable and to passive this knight. But after playing the move e5, where is the knight going to? The knight doesn't have a square on f6 because this is just taken, and also this because of queen on b3 hitting the square on b6. But the let's go back. The move that Fischer was playing was e5. Not a bad move. We have rook to b8, blunder by Boris Spassky. He should have tried this idea to somehow be able to be capable of pushing this pawn. For example, going this and at the same time pushing the c4 pawn because now your queen on e7 is protected by the rook on e7. So the pushing of the pawn on c4 is not possible. So after knight to b6, we have queen to g3, but it's still better for white. I should just point this out. Now c4, best move. As I said, knight to b6, threaten c4. So here c4 comes. We have bishop to g4. Again, rook to e8, queen to f2. And now the point is to somehow go here and also hitting the pawn d4. So we have now rook to d7 defending the pawn on d4. We have rook to d1 attacking once more, queen to c5 and b4. Trying to deflect the. So for example, if you just take this, then I just have to take on this, but I have a stronger move, even a 5 as I said. Okay, so after this, black has to go play queen to d5 after bishop to f3, queen to b5. Now if white captures, we just capture on here. If you take, I just capable to take back with the knight. So black survives this position, okay? But rook to b8 was just played, not knight to b6 to be able to use the c4 counterattack on the queen side. But as I said, rook to b8 to blunder from Boris Spassky. Now bishop to c4, best move from Fischer. We have king to h8, so this pawn, if you take this pawn, is not with the check at rest. We have queen to h3, putting pressure on this pawn. We have knight to f8, defending the pawn. A better move could be, yes, rook takes b2. Just if you attack your opponent, then sorry, if your opponent attacks you, you have to also attack, okay? So that's why rook to b2, activating the rook on the second rank is important. And bishop takes on e6, but it is still winning for white, but it is a very hard and challenging one to win with white pieces this. Now, after rook to b7, bishop coming back to c4, a5, going to f5, now a4, queen to, sorry, rook to f3, rook to b8, h3, the game continues, but this is favor for and having good for actually white. You don't have this move because I think of this move. For example, if instead of h3 you play bishop to d3, then yes, the computer suggests knight to f8. Now if you go here, then the knight takes your queen. So okay, that's defensive strategy to remember. Knight to f8 moves some of the times. Knight to f8 is very important to defend your camp. But let's go back. We have, as I said, knight to f8, not rook takes b2. Knight to f8 was played by Boris Spassky. We have b3. You don't have any, you have no longer any chance to take on b2 now, and I'm just strengthening my bishop on bishop c4. Okay, bishop on c4 is just putting the pressure on the pawn on e6. We have the move a5, f5. He takes on f5, rook takes on f5, knight to h7, rook c to f1, queen comes to d8. We have queen g3. The threat is e6 and this, and just going for the clear. Okay. We have rook to e7, h4, rook to b7, rook b to b7, and after couple of moves, black is in complete zugzwang and suddenly makes an error and loses the game. a4, rook to f2, queen to e8, rook to f3, queen to d8, bishop to d3. Now this diagonal of this bishop is just going to get open and the game will just be over. So we have queen to 8, blunder. He could have tried queen to g8, queen to d6, rook to a7, bishop to c4, pushes, then we just take. As I said, black is in zugzwang. He doesn't have any useful moves, so he is just in serious danger. Rook to f2, rook to f7, rook b7, queen to d2, just hitting now this pawn. After you take, and I can just, as I said, queen takes on f5, and this game is just over. This pawn is collapsing, this pawn is passer, your king is safe, everything is having issue with black's position. And as I said, this is just over. But Boris Spassky made another blunder, queen to e8. We have queen to e4. Now the threat is rook to f8. If you take, I just take. If you take, I just make. For example, if you play like this, I go here, check. Knight takes f8, rook takes f8, queen takes f8, and this is just checkmate. The bishop is completely guarding the queen here. So knight to f6 was just played, and Fischer. So pause the video for now, and I'll just let you to find out what did actually Fischer played in this position. So I hope that you have just found the moves. Nice, congratulations. Rook takes f6 is finished. G takes f6, rook takes f6 happened then after king to g8, bishop to c4, king to h8, queen to f4. Now this pawn here and everything is just collapsing. Because how are you going to defend this pawn? If you play here, then I go here, and I also have this threat. So at this moment, Boris Spassky decided to just resign and give up this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and comment on this video. See you next time. Goodbye for now.